Hey, I'm back again. Not sure what happened, but I think my phone is kind of hidden for right now. But I'm not sure what happened, but it appears that my phone was connected to the extender, the Wi-Fi extender, not the Wi-Fi. I don't know what was happening as I was moving about, but it seemed like I wasn't I wasn't having a good connection, surprisingly. Anyway, so I'm back, but now I'm on my computer so I can just sit and I should be editing videos still, but I had to take a break for now. I was kind of overwhelmed. Anyway, I was trying to say that I think when I went off I was talking about the Woman King movie that I heard came out and people are talking about. Um It's playing in the capital in Dakar right now. I heard somebody text me that it was playing, but I was wondering if anybody's seen it yet. I miss going to the movie theaters. I don't know how the movie theater experience is here, but I miss going to the movies and having a snack. I need to take having a snack and going to the movies by myself. That was one of my favorite things to do. Oil diffuser thing won't go off. Hey, I'm back. Organic hair and skin. Thanks for coming back. Um, I don't know if you were watching the previous one, but for some reason my signal on my end it kept going saying that it was going in and out. So I'm not sure if it was going in and out for you guys as well, or if it was freezing. I'll have to watch it back later and see what the issue was. But I just wanted to test out my new selfie stick that my cousin brought me with the little stabilizer thing on it. Anyway, so I was just playing with my little toy here, but actually it's easier for me to sit here and talk and I don't have to hold anything in my hand. But yeah, so what's new going somebody had asked about land. I think I can put it in the comment. Well, then I don't know if they're here or not, but I forget who it was. I think it was I don't know what the name was. I forget. But anyway, yeah, we do for that person, if you do watch end up watching this, we do share we do assist in land purchasing in case anybody needed to know that, especially in this area of Malakunda, or the Petite Côte in general, Simone, Sally, and surrounding areas and things like that. So that is something that we do. We have a company and a agency that assists with that, as well as construction and things like that. We help you get building permits, and the whole, basically everything we had to do for ourselves. That's what we ended up doing to assist others. So that's going on. Also, there's more for those that may or may not be interested, but we do have more videos on our Patreon. Like every week, I think I post like at least two at least two behind the scene videos of things that's going on. These are videos that I don't have to edit as much because it's just like what we're doing day to day. And I try to keep some stuff off of YouTube because it's such a public platform and we have to, keep our privacy and things like that. But I do want to share things that may help people along the way. You said organic hair and skin says, what's the cost for 20 by 20? Hold on, let me do my multiplication because they do it by square meters here. The way they 20 by 20. I guess I just multiply, huh? So that's 400. So hold on, let me see what is 10 by 10. No, not 10 by 10. Hmm. Like 15 by 15, they have 15 by 15, and they have what is this, like 17, no, 16 by 16, something like that. Yeah, around 16 by 16 and 15 by 15. So it's 225 to 250 square meters, and those depends on where they are, but you can contact me, and I can, let you know in more detail. But on average, the closer in proximity you are to our home is probably $8,000 right about now. When we purchased it was 5,000 US, and then four to five, and that was in 2020, beginning of 2020. And then every 6 months or so, the price will go up. So now they're about eight, I would say 8,000. It was recently seven, but now people started asking for 8,000 US approximately for in our immediate vicinity. But there's some plots that are still going for about 4,000, and those are again 225 square meters. So you can contact me, afromillennialmama@gmail.com or afromillennial enterprise@gmail.com, either one. And we can assist you with either putting you in contact with someone or if you're so inclined. But there's one, I think there's a plot that went for 10 or so. It just depends. But the good thing is that, like with the price here, like compared to last year, the US dollar went up. I don't know what happened to it or something, but there's way more value for your money. So, whereas, for example, a million CFA would be 2,000 US dollars back in the day, right now, it's, you can probably say, a million would be closer to 1,000 and 2,000. So it's like, yeah, I think usually we would double whatever the Sapphire is, but now it's a lot less. So something that will cost you $7,000, before, based on the exchange rate, will now cost you closer to 5,000 or 5,500, something like that. So now is a good time to buy in that sense. If I'm making any sense, if that makes sense, let me know. But yeah, so that's something. And then, like I said, the Patreon videos have a lot more detail, specifics. People are I mean, you're allowed to ask questions here on this platform too. There's just a limited amount of things that I can share, specifics and details. So, um, I do a lot of Q&A on Patreon as well, which is also under Afro Millennial Mama, the same name. And there we share more of the day to day things, and things I'm learning along the way. It's going on 2 years that I've been living here, and it's amazing to think that that's the case. And I'm thinking about when my husband moved to the States and the 2 year mark, how new he still was. And so this is definitely a process. And for the stage in life that I'm in, which, I'm still young, but I'm not that young. And so it's like when you finally get the hang of how things work and what you're doing, and then to change, you know, mid in your, mid adult years is oh, that's a pretty dove on the thing, or pigeon. Um, it's a very interesting thing. It's very different than I think, somebody doing the move in their 20s or as a child and things like that. Rob Sneed. Hi, I will be in Senegal next week, and I would like to connect with you when I get there. Is that possible to talk about land? Yes, it's definitely possible. Next week, let me look and see if I'm here. But you can always email me even if you don't uh, catch me. I know I'm scheduled to. Oh no, not next week. What's going on next week? Something. I feel like something's happening next week. I can't think of what it is, but it's not on my calendar, so I guess it's not. Oh, I'm just getting ready for my kid is gonna go back to school she's gonna start the first grade in October. So I have to I have to what is the word? Get her school supplies and get ready for school. So that's all I have going on. But yeah, definitely send me an email. Okay, the 13th. Okay. Yeah, send me an email. I think I could type it in here. Let me see if it'll let me type it in here. Afro. Just remember it's double L, double N, uh, and then a double M, um, at Gmail. Let me write an email in here. We're gonna find out. I think it'll show up. But yeah, just send me an email when you arrive, or maybe before you arrive, and if you're gonna be in this area, which is Gumbor, the Petit Côte area. I don't know if you've been to Senegal before. If um, you know where you're gonna be, or what city or what region you're gonna be in. Apix. Oh, like in Dakar. You mean Apexi, or something like Yof or something. I don't know the neighborhoods, all the neighborhoods in Dakar. I don't frequent all of them, but okay. So yes, okay. So you'll be in Dakar. Yeah, if you plan to be in this area of Mbor, you can come down, or you can just email me and we can just talk on the phone or something. That's fine too. Keisha, hi Keisha. I got a cousin named Keisha. I'll be hitting you up on your email. I'll be there December to February. Oh wow, that's a long time. Nice. Oh, oh, Rob Sneak says picking. There's a lot of pickings. There's a picking in Dakar. There's a picking in San Luis. I don't know if there's another picking everywhere else, but there's a lot of pickings. I guess it's like a neighborhood in a whole bunch of different cities. But um, but yeah, I've never been to picking in Dakar. But my my mother-in-law's family is from picking in San Luis. But okay. Um, yeah, December to February sounds good. Um, December, I think December I have family coming, so that should be cool to have people visiting through the holiday time. Actually, November and December, I'm gonna be pretty pretty booked, but I should be having a lot of fun. Cool. So what else is going on, guys? I guess it was my phone with the moving around that wasn't doing good on the Wi-Fi or something before, because now I don't have any problems. What else did I want to talk about? Um, September. It's crazy to think that it's September. Um, there's a question. What do you do for a living? For a living. Well, that depends on the day. um, Currently, I wouldn't say that I make a living doing what I'm doing as of yet. Right now, I consider myself to be staying afloat. But we have some projects that are in the works. It might be too many projects going on at once, but right now, for day to day, um, my husband and I are land brokers, but that's not how we earn a living because it's just like it just depends when people buy. But I do consultations for relocation, which is also just something that it's here and there. We also have an Airbnb at our home. We have a bed and breakfast, which some months is good, some months is quiet, which I like it like that because I don't always want people here 24/7. So I earn money that way, as well as YouTube, which is a little bit of change. Patreon, which is also another form of income. What I really, really want is to get rid of all of those. Um, but it serves a purpose because for now it helps because you know we're we're making the area known and people are coming and so it's a great thing because I definitely do not want to live here by myself I'm you know I'm a grown up woman and like my kid she'll adapt to living here and she's you know she's Senegalese as well anyway but me I really need like environment that is both diaspora and you know a mix um you know, just like any enclave in the States, you know, people find their community. That's what I need. So this is the work that we do is needed for us as much as, you know, it helps other people. But yeah, we have a construction apartment that we built. We just have to finish it so we can rent that out. I think we're gonna do Airbnb with that as well. It's in another it's in my husband's hometown actually. So once that's done, I'm hoping that that will be what I do for a living, and I can kind of chill because YouTube is work, and I mean I like it, but I don't want to have to do it all the time, or I don't want to have to always do consultations and things like that. I just rather chill and do it when I want and be on vacation when I want. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. That's a lot of things that we're doing right now. When we first moved, we had enough saved to not work, praise God. And so we were living pretty much off of what we brought with us and building from that and living off that. And we still kind of are, but I'm trying to make sure I don't spend too much and have funds coming in. So that's why we do the things that we do. So construction, my husband does construction. So a couple of projects. He's done aluminum work in a couple of people's properties or building fences and things like that. So we do those type of things to get just to get something coming in on a consistent basis, and then until we have, you know. Speaking of which, he's calling me right now. Hello. Okay, I will. Okay, thank you. That was a reminder to turn the AC off to save it for the night because we have solar. So anyway, Fatu Job. Hello, Fatu Job. I feel like I know a Fatu Job. I probably do, but it's a common name, so maybe it's not the Fatu Job that I know. Rob Sneed. I know the female DJ who did a party for you. Oh, okay. And her dad visited Senegal and met you. He's also buying land too. Yes. Okay, I know exactly who you're speaking about. Cool. Oh, nice. I was wondering. I was wondering the name Rob Sneed. I was like, okay, I don't think you're from here, but you know the area that you're going to, so you've probably been here before. User zero user one, hello. Nice to see you again. Keisha E. I'll be vacationing and working remote. Oh, that's how you're able to come for I homeschool my 12-year-old daughter. She's coming with me as well. Homeschool. Oh my goodness. That sounds like a lot of work. I don't know how people do it, but that's cool. That's awesome. But 12, I guess she can just do work, probably do a lot of by herself. Not like this person right here. Why are you in my room? It's so hot in here too. Turn the fan so it's straight on me because I had to turn the AC off and I can't open the window because the mosquitoes will come in or whoever will come in. Thank you. Oh, nice air. You can turn it up too on the high. Turn it on level two. Let's see what else is going on. Oh yeah, so you're coming and you're doing homeschooling. That's great. Keisha, do you know what area you're gonna be in, and have you been to Senegal before? Um, yes, hook me up with land plug. Oh, for sure, that won't be a problem. Peace and light. Sorry guys if I'm looking like this. I'm reading the comments. Peace and light. I caught alive. Yay, Rock Velvet. Oh, Rock. Hey, how are you? Don't always get to catch a live, especially on Repat No Cap. Hey, which is super dope. I'm so glad you like it. Rock Velvet has been to Senegal before, and her and her daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's your handle, Rock Velvet. Anyway, yeah, that was really cool when you came. It's crazy. I think it's been a year, hasn't it? Because we weren't in our house yet when you came. We weren't living here yet. I'm here at work daydreaming about Senegal. When are you coming back, man? And where's Zizi? Keisha, I'll rent your Airbnb for the 2 weeks I'm there if that's available. Cool. Wait, you said that the 2 weeks that I'm there. Wait, you said 2 weeks? Or I thought you said you were coming for December to February. Maybe you'll be in this area for 2 weeks, maybe then. Okay. Yeah, just let me know. I think December December I had wanted to not book for December because I didn't think I would have time to host anybody with the family I have coming into town. But but then someone I know that's been here before wanted to book. So December might be gone, but for February and January, I don't have anybody booked yet. So definitely check check Airbnb for that. If you need the link, I can type it in here. Oh, okay, you'll be in Gambia too. Okay. I'll put the link in here just in case. Airbnb.com and the name is Kurt Afro. Kurt Afro means Afro House. I forget who the subscriber was. I know it was a gentleman who told me to name, like he told me to name the area or name the house or name the estate or something like that. And I was like, I can't think of a name. And we had all these ideas before we came, but it's crazy. You'll have ideas if you're planning to move or anything. You'll have these ideas and then you'll land and then some new stuff will come up and it's like we had to scratch everything. We had business cards and all this other stuff, things, ideas that we wanted to do, and we brought it with us and we're like, and then we had to scrap it and just like, you know, go with the brand because yeah. So there's the Airbnb link. Hopefully that works for you guys. But but yeah, mid January is still available. So and so you can book it whenever you're ready. Um, Ask why. What has been the reaction from the local community, welcoming or not? uh, the reaction to us living here, which my husband's not from this region, but there I couldn't say that there was one reaction. I mean, there's individual reactions by individual people, um, but but um, but yeah, some welcoming, some regular, just like indifferent, some cool. It just depends. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any specific event or anything to describe, the general sentiment. But I mean, people are pretty welcoming here in general, more so than the U.S. at least, which is where I'm from. Um, People don't trip when you don't speak the language correctly. They don't, oh, this is Senegal. I mean, sometimes people say this is Senegal, you need to speak Wolof, but it's not in a way that it's like you're ignorant or something. It's just more like, come on, you got to be one of us. Like, so it's very but it's a homogenous society, I guess you would say. So people are more limited unless they've traveled. So like the people that I hang with or that I associate with mostly are more people that other than outside of my husband's family, of course, are people who have traveled, who have been abroad, who have lived in France or something, or grew up in Canada and they come back to raise their kids. People that are like minded. So and we have the same interests. We do yoga, we do, stuff like that. So that may be more who I have in common with. So that's who I hang with. But like the neighbors are cool. Like, I mean, everybody's pretty decent. It's just humans, you know what I mean? Like some people are like, what happened was we built here before anything was here or anybody, and that wasn't our initial plan. We were planning to move here later in life, but things happened, things changed. So when we started building, 2 months later into the build, there was a village that were like, what is it called? Like squatters, you I guess would be the word for us. But there were squatters. There was a road that needed to be built, so the squatters were moved, kind of like halfway, kind of homeless. And so when they moved here, we were this huge, big house, and they were given plots of land to build small houses. So I mean, there's a different lifestyle that we have that this particular group of people doesn't don't have. So those are our only like neighbors where we see that we see every day. But we have other neighbors and friends and things like that outside of this little neighborhood that we probably deal with on a more regular basis. But it's been pretty cool. Like nobody's like there's no I mean, it's not like it's hard to say because it's not like you can compare it to the States where people were burning crosses and skulls and throwing bricks through your window when you're like a black family living in a white neighborhood. It's not violent, it's not hostile, you know what I mean? It's just normal. I don't know. That's the best I got for right now. Let me see. What's the next question? Or Bedina Babe says, hey, we learn together. It's fun. Oh, Keisha said we learn together. Cool. I don't know. I must have forgot what we were talking about at that point. Henry Ross. Oh, I got some Rosses in my family. Henry Ross says, "Good to see you live, Mama. Are you learning French?" No, I'm not learning French. I've been speaking French for about 10 years. Um, I was studying French in college, and then I was able to speak when I met my husband because he didn't speak English. So I've been speaking French for a while, but yeah, I mean it's coming back to me. I had stopped using it except when I would come on vacation. But yeah, my French is fine. Um, you know, if I watch a French show, then it comes back a little more. But we speak English at home, so French I have to get back in the groove. This this time last year was our first visit to Senegal. I'm not sure if you remember. Yes, I remember you and Zizi. Yes. What are you doing? They don't want to see that. Show them again your cute hair. I don't think they saw it in the last video because
No, they didn't.
is the light good? I don't know. There. She got her hair done today. Somebody came all the way from Dakar, did her hair in less than an hour. And she's like the most tender-headed kid in the world. And now I don't have to worry about her little head. Mwah. Look at you. And she got new earrings. They haven't seen your new earrings. They can't see. Come closer. Come closer.
They can
She
even
got
see.
bigger earrings. Okay, take your finger out. Now they dangle. Look at you. She got grown woman earrings. I don't even have gold earrings like this rich
She
woman.
only have silver.
Silver, yeah. Yeah, I like small earrings. One day I'll have gold. I'll get it from your grandmother if I want. Let's see. Keisha, never been before. Borders were closed when I came November 2020. Oh, you've never been to Senegal before. So you came. Oh, did you go to Gambia then? Is that what you're saying? The borders were closed. I'll be in Gambia too. Roger, yes, you have a great memory. Tell Yaya when we come again, Zizi's gonna watch the movie. Tell Yaya. Okay. Yaya, you remember Zizi? You remember you were playing with Zizi, Rock, Auntie Rock and Zizi when they came? It was a year ago though. So long for you, probably 10 years in your world.
I do not remember.
You remembered her a couple of months ago, and they came to our house, and the bugs and ZZ was scared. I'll show you a picture later. Anyway, a beanie maroon. Hey, how are you? I'm good. I'm good. I had to I had to go to the urgent care yesterday. That was an experience. Thank God everything is okay and it was nothing serious, but I had some serious abdominal pain. Hey, look, that's too loud. I'm doing something with people. If you're gonna be in here, then you need to can you turn on the other light up there? The other switch up there so to be even bright. It's something weird. Like the sun, it's almost 7, but the sun is still out, but it's like hazy. No, on. Thank you. That's good. The other one too. There's two. Yeah. But it's like yellow outside, so it's kind of dim, but it's still daytime. It's weird. They say your hair is super cute. Rob Sneed, if you buy land in Senegal, do you have to build right away once you obtain the land? No, you do not. If you don't build right away, which right away could be a year, but if you don't build, you can just put a fence so that no one else, sneaks over, inches over onto your land. But you don't have to build. You just get a building permit, and then when you get the building permit, you have maybe 2 years, I think, to build something like that. But other than that, yeah, it's just your building permit, what it says. Um, I know you have to break ground within 3 years in Gambia. Not sure about. Yeah, you don't have to build. You can hold the land however long. You don't have to build anything, if you don't want to. It's just a matter of the building permit. When you get the the building permit, that would allot you a certain amount of time. I believe 2 years. If but don't quote me on that. Sar Mohamedou, hola, ¿cómo está? Hace mucho tiempo que no hablo contigo. William Webbs, I recognize that name. Hello, my sister just came on the live. There's no topic. I actually was on earlier. I was taking a break from editing videos, and then I lost the signal on my phone, so I just came back on my tablet here. I'm just taking a break and saying hello, giving updates. I'm trying to as busy as I've been lately, compared to when I first started the YouTube, I'm trying to be consistent with it because this is the way that people, know what's going on for the most part. But I was telling the people earlier that most of my day to day is on Patreon, just because you invite people into your life, and I know people learn a lot from the videos and get exposed, which I love. At the same time, I try to not put everything out there. Now people know where I'm at, they know where I live and stuff, which is I don't have a problem, but you just want to keep some stuff not so out there for the whole world to see. So anyway, so I have a lot of content on Patreon that's been picking up, but I'm trying to keep consistent with YouTube, even though YouTube for me, because it's going to a lot of people, I have to edit more, and that's why I just took this break right now because I was editing and it was getting overwhelming. I lost I lost some footage, and then I had to find it back in my cloud thing or whatever it's called, and it was just like, ugh, I've been tired, and then you gotta make it look nice for YouTube with the music and the little effects and stuff so people will watch and everything to make it worth my while. Um, you know, I want it to be good, but Patreon, my Patreon's under the same name for those of you who may be interested. And I believe it's like you can donate what you want, but it's like suggested $10. But that on there's no holds bar. Everything is up for questioning and all that stuff. So if that is something that can help you, then by all means. And I go through everything, like the emotional stuff, the financial stuff, and building, and a lot of building construction stuff. We're doing home improvement like every day. Today we had a carpenter here. Oh, go check my closet. See if he did a good job. 'Cause I think he left already. They're fixing a screen door for my balcony. At the same time, you
Oh,
know, the the regular maintenance came to clean the pool, and then we have a new groundskeeper. It's like always moving pieces. I need a new housekeeper. It's like all these things that I'm learning because it's not just that the house is a larger size than what I'm used to, but it also is just takes a lot more work and cleaning and the lifestyle with the culture and when you have people working, you got to feed them lunch, and then that means you got to cook lunch, and it's like lunch that I don't know how to cook because it's local food is less expensive, so then it's like you got to have somebody cook it, and it's a lot of little things that take a lot of adjusting. And so even though it's going on 2 years, in 2 months it'll be 2 years. The closet looks good. I'm still unpacking. I don't even know when I have the time for that. But my cousin came to visit twice. My cousin came again, the same cousin who was here back in July. She came back, so I was busy with her. And so yeah, it's been my schedule's been full. I've been getting keeping my health together. I think I have a video coming out and of my workout regimen for the past 6 months. I lost about 10 pounds, I think. Um, which I was surprised that I actually lost weight. But so I documented that, and so I have a lot going on: exercising, eating better, getting my health together, and stuff like that. It's in a new environment. It's definitely been an adventure. My daughter is gonna start what would be considered first grade. Registered for her for school all by myself the other day. You're gonna break your ankle. She's walking in my heels right now. You're wearing my shoes. I told you not to wear my shoes. Can you put this stuff? You're gonna break your feet. That's not good for you. She's over here trying on my shoes. So cute. But yeah, that's what the topics that I was talking about. I went to urgent care last night, but thankfully everything is fine. Um, and that was a good experience to have because now I know where I will go for urgent care and who's the doctor and all that stuff. So everything is a learning experience. Hello, my oh, super cute hairstyle. Oh, Mansur, me alegro mucho cómo está mejorando tu nivel de francés. Bueno, el francés ya lo tengo más o menos bien. Wolof, Wolof is hard. Okay, so let's talk about this. I'm I'm I studied linguistics in school, and languages is a passion of mine. But Wolof is hard, and it's the hardest language that I've ever tried to learn, and it's taken me the longest that any language has ever taken me. I've been speaking Spanish most of my life. I've been speaking English all of my life. I've been speaking French for mm, 10 years at least. Well, more than that, but off and on. Um, but Wolof is something that it's so slow and it's hard because I think that people don't really know how to teach it because they don't learn it in school. So they just know from their parents. And their parents teach them just by talking. So no one knows like when you go to school in the West and you learn English or whatever language that you learn the writing, reading, writing, speaking, all that. And so Wolof is very different. It's hard to teach something that you've never been formally taught. And I think that's something, and everybody will tell you Wolof is easy. They tell you that all the time. Somebody just told me that today. And I'm like, no, it is not. And then when I break it down, they're like, no, it's French is hard. I said, no. When I break it down to them, they're like, okay, you're right. Because Wolof and any language that's not really read or written a lot, you can't, I mean, and it's not as popular, so that makes it scarce to find resources. So there's like very few apps on your phone. There's no translations, there's no subtitles anywhere. So because it's not that popular, or maybe they don't want it to be that popular, I don't know. Um, the tools in which you can learn it, you can't really find. So, and then there's the cultural aspect too. So because Wolof is not something that's spoken in a lot of different countries, it's only associated with like three countries maybe, and a select group of people with a select culture. So it's not like French. You can find all kinds of people that speak French. You can find Christians that speak French, Muslims that speak French, Arabic people that speak French, Chinese people that speak French, Latin people that speak French somehow. Things like that. Polynesian people that speak French. So you can find your little niche. You know what I mean? But there's very limited group of Americans that speak French, or Black Americans that speak, like, there's no culture in there. There's no like there's French. I mean, not French. I was talking about Wolof, but there's no there's Black Americans that speak French actually, but not Wolof. So it's hard to fit into a group that's so like specific, and it's kind of like a secret club. So I think Wolof may seem easier to some because they don't live with it. Like, I think if I didn't live with people that spoke it, like my mother-in-law's here right now, my sister-in-laws visit, and their families and cousins and people are here every week. So because it's around me more than maybe the average expat person, or who's not married to the family or whatever, I think that highlights it even more that I don't speak it as well as I would like. So Wolof is very, very Wolof está difícil, man. And you said el primero paso no te lleva a donde quiere ir, pero te saca donde estás. Yeah, that's true. You're right. That's a good saying, actually. He said the first step won't take you where you want to go, but it takes you from where you were, which is true. I mean, I've improved in it, but Wolof has always been a slow race for me. So I'm, I'm, s- I'm done with being frustrated. I'm just I'm done. I've taken classes, but they're not really classes. It's just people with the beginner level stuff. And I had a tutor, and he just told me some words, but it wasn't structured. Like, there's no, unless you go with the class, the Peace Corps class or something, then you won't really have that structure to learn. But my daughter will learn it. She has friends that speak it and stuff. Hopefully, the language doesn't die out. I'm hoping that they eventually start teaching it in school, because people could come here from other places, and and everybody, like, should learn it. I believe that that moves here and things like that. One day, maybe. Le dernier rempart d'Afrique. Hi guys, how do you do? Nangende from Dakar, Senegal. Come and visit the home. This country is also yours. You are welcome. Le Sénégal, c'est votre pays. Venez quand vous voulez. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. I mean, your daughter looks so cute. Hairstyle beautifully for both of you. Oh, thank you. This I'm just trying to keep uh from retouching my hair for a while, because I think it was making my edges a little stressed. But and also because of the rain, I took a break from my hairdresser. Because you can make an appointment during the rainy season, and you can have 3 days of no rain, but you don't know. And so when the rain comes, you just have to stop and wait for it to stop. And so it kind of makes you want to sit at home, read a book, drink. It doesn't rain the whole day, which I love. It's great, better than LA rain. LA rain, it will rain all day, maybe 2 days, and you won't see the sun. It's kind of sad. But thank you. Yeah, I just braided it up to let it kind of grow out and not mess with it, because I find that men who grow their hair, I feel like they don't bother their hair and it grows and it's healthy. But women, we do so much stuff to our hair, I think it stresses it out. So, and I had to cut it. It was longer before when I moved here. I cut it a couple of months ago. I had to cut it because I had dyed it, and the after a year the hair started breaking. So I'm kind of starting over a little bit again. I hear some information floods in Senegal. Have you a dommage or damage, I guess you say? Um, yeah, there's some parts where there was flooding in Dakar. I don't know about any other parts of the country if there was flooding, but Dakar, which is a very, 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 very small part of the country, because of I don't know if it's because of the high-rise buildings or the way it was the infrastructure, but there were floods in some streets. I think it goes away after a while. I know in Sally, which is not too far from me, there are some streets where you just have to take another street, like in the neighborhoods. It can be like a pool of water, not like flooding where it goes inside your house, but just it can be water in the streets to where you have to make a take another street, things like that. In the sand, the dirt rolls is kind of like sand. But by my house, there's no flooding. Here, the dirt is actually more absorbent. It's a different type of dirt. Whereas closer to the beach, it's probably like more like what you would think of as beach sand. Here, it's like red clay. It almost feels like yeah, it's like very fine dust. It's like red clay. So once the rain stops, the water is gone. It might be a little muddy, but it doesn't hold water for long. That's probably why there's so many trees and stuff out here. Um, Oh, Abini says, "Are you okay?" Yes, I'm fine. I had abdominal pain that I was worried it could be something serious, like my appendix or something like that, which I've never had before. So I never had this kind of pain before, and it was creeping up on me. Like it started like very faint, and I thought it was a feminine thing, and so I dismissed it because it was very faint, and I was like, oh, it's probably that time, just like my body doing what it does every month. But then afterwards, it started getting worse, and all of a sudden, I couldn't. It just was really bad, and so we went to the urgent care and it was a good experience going to the urgent care. I felt, whenever you not whenever, this is the first time I've ever moved to a different country, but you go somewhere, you go to the doctor, you don't know in a different place how the care is going to be. And I haven't gone to I've gone to the doctor here for a couple of things like checkups and stuff. So as I'm going, I'm learning how things work. But yeah, where I went, I had a really good experience. The doctor actually watched the channel, which was funny. I had seen the doctor before because of another lady that was here. I think she moved to Gambia, but she was here and she had her child here. I actually went to an appointment with her to interpret for her with the doctor. And so that was like maybe a year ago. And so I remembered the doctor when he showed up, the on-call doctor from there. And then he was like, "You have a YouTube channel." It was really interesting. But yeah, so I've been uh so much more focused on my health living here that I was surprised that when I do become ill or something. But I guess different environment, different food. Maybe my body's adjusting to some things. Even though I may not be stressed like I was in the States, it might be different stresses. I don't know. So I'm getting to know myself here and what works for me and, what things to do. But thankfully, it was just an infection and they gave me what they had to give me and it went away. But always listen to your body, even if it's faint. Always pay attention because it's especially for women, I think, because we have so many organs or reproductive stuff and all that go on that you can't see. And so, symptoms, they may feel like it's your stomach and it's not your stomach and, different things like that. So it's hard to diagnose a lot of stuff like that if you don't go get it examined. But yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much. It was kind of scary, but once whatever they put in my IV, and I've had good luck with people putting either like I think I did a blood um what is it those analysis. I'm trying to translate it back to English. like where they check your, your do all your tests for diabetes and all the things. They found my vein really easily. That was about a month ago when I did those tests, and then this time when I had to get the IV, they found my vein really easy. Which always in the states, I always have problems. The phlebotomists are sticking me multiple times, and they can never find a vein. So the people here are really good with it. They've never missed a vein or anything like that. So that's something that I never experienced. I've always had problems with my veins since I was a kid. Um, Let me see. She's growing so much. Yeah, she's totally changed. And when she moved here, she was 4.5. Now she's 6.5. It's amazing to see her grow and evolve into this little person. Let's see. Where am I? Where am I? Hello from Canada. Hi Mo Isk. Hit the like button. Oh, thank you, Keisha. That's so cool of you. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Um, Properties, Gambia Real Estate. Greetings. You and your husband have done a great job in Senegal. I appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. It's kind of surreal. Like you don't realize until you step out of it. Like sometimes I pretend that I'm someone else, and I try to see if if my friend was had moved to another country and was you know trying to share their experience and people helping people and stuff. It sounds kind of amazing when I think of it that way, but when I'm just doing my regular daily stuff, it's you forget that until people say nice things like that. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Rock, I'm gonna hit you on WhatsApp when I free up some time if you're available. Yeah, definitely. Message me, no problem. Hey, stop. My medicine. What I tell you about personal stuff? That's personal, man. Are you finished? This is my most favorite person in the world. But she's a lot
Who's
of
that?
she's a lot
Say
of-
hi.
Yeah. They said hi and they put a happy face. Sara
Yeah.
Mohamedou. Sería una buena idea dar clase de inglés y español. Pueden ser un buen negocio. Yeah, English classes definitely would be good business. Spanish, perhaps. Yeah. I'm hoping that her school, the owners of her school, are really trying to make their mark in the area in the city of Malakunda, and so they're building in addition to expanding the school right now. Thank you. To expanding their school, they're also building like I will call it a community center, but like a multi-purpose something right across the street from the school. And their thought is, to do things like that, like where parents can take Zumba classes, or parents can do workout and stuff like that, or kids can play sports after school, as well as things like that, like learn Wolof. And the owner of the school, they're a mixed couple, like my husband and I. And so the wife has lived here for maybe 13 years and doesn't speak Wolof yet. And so it's not just me. But I think that she mentioned something about Wolof classes, and I think I may maybe even a PTA, which I'm excited to try to do something like that, to be involved. But even for kids who don't speak Wolof, like my daughter, she's a couple of years behind on her Wolof because she just had her dad. But she's okay understanding, but she does respond. She responds in English to my husband, and she only responds in Wolof to people who only speak Wolof. Like if she has to. But for if other kids end up coming to this area in the next 2 years or something like that, and they're expats, or then that would be great to have Wolof classes and things like that. So that would be a place where I could probably do it. Hey, stop. And it's cool because most of the things here are in Sally, like things like sports and stuff for the kids. So to not have to drive, which it's not crazy drive, it's like 20 minutes, but with the way time things take take time here. It's not like the states where you can go to your kids' game and sit there the whole time. Like things you need to kind of multitask. So if it's close by, all the better. She could take karate classes and I could take Wolof adult classes, like what do they call it? Like ESL. What would it be? A WSL Wolof as a second language. So yeah, that's a cool idea. It takes time. Your cousin looked happy, enjoyed herself. Yeah, she really did enjoy herself. She's like hooked on Senegal. She's like, I'm coming back, and she came back. It's like I'm coming back again. I'm like, oh man. So yeah, excellent, healthier lifestyle brings out the best in you. Wonderful, congratulations. Thank you so much. Yeah, sorry to hear about your visit to urgent care. Yeah, glad to hear everything turned out okay. Yeah, I have not. I haven't prayed like that. I mean, I pray, but not like that. Like that, it's been a while since I've been like, man, afraid. And I guess just the unknown. If you had a stomach ache before, you know what it feels like. You know what you need to do. If you have, cramps or things like that. But this was something that I never felt before, and I just didn't know what to think. And when you look online and you put your symptoms, they can say it could be this. They're gonna say the worst stuff, and so you're like, and then they didn't even say what it was. But thankfully, my mother-in-law was here. She's a retired nurse, so she helped me get the doctor, like get the doctor to get there early and all that stuff, and get there and rule out all the serious stuff. So praise God for that, man, because now I'm at a point in my life where I can't pretend that I'm a kid, and like people from your high school class get sick, and like I think a couple of people passed away during like COVID and that time frame, and I'm just like, man, if to tomorrow is not promised, and you just do the best you can, and hope you can hope you can be here long enough to live your life's purpose and make a difference. Especially when you have kids, it's like these are things you think about. But God is good. Excellent. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. Hey, Shubarb, how are you doing? Is the way they taught us to learn European language. It's the way they taught us to learn European languages and minimize African. So there's little to no formality about it. Still nice that it's more unique. Yeah, I think that's a part of it too. Some part of me likes the fact that we're talking about Wolof, likes the fact that it's kind of an underground language, so not everybody can speak it. So if you do speak it or you do know some, like it really shows that you really know where you're talking, like you've been to Senegal, or you know what I mean? Like there's people, like when you call those call centers and people speak English all over the world, but they have different accents and stuff, and it doesn't mean that they've been to the UK or America or wherever. But if somebody speaks Wolof, they're like in the family, or they know, what I mean? So I like the exclusivity of it, and that it keeps certain people out. But yeah, it's definitely a challenging one. And everybody I know, at least my female friends that live here, that are married to Senegalese, one, two, three, yeah, none of them speak Wolof, and it's like all of us were like, it's just not something that you just can, you know, grasp without being totally, totally immersed. I guess you will get there with determination. Yeah, I think I will get there one day. That's what I tell myself. It's been 13 years. I think I didn't try to learn it initially because nobody was speaking it. When people don't know you, they speak French. And so then when I learned French well enough to speak with everyone, then I realized that their French wasn't actually as good as their Wolof, and that they're more comfortable speaking Wolof. So the more comfortable people get with me, even my mother-in-law to this day, she's looking at me speaking Wolof, and I'm like, huh, huh, huh. But if I overhear people talking to each other, I can get the gist of what they're saying, but not enough. Like I could miss a couple of words and it changed the whole thing. So yeah, Beanie Maroon says it's good not to stress the root sometimes. Is what I, oh, my hair, yeah, give it some balance. I'm thinking of trimming slightly, but can't decide. Yeah, it took me a minute to decide to accept the trimming. It was because every time I was losing one here or there, like I would lose 4 inches, 3 inches of hair, and it was just stressful. So I said, let me just take control of it myself and be done with it. Shoe Barb says, good that you are okay now. Yes, thankfully I'm okay now. And yeah, good advice. Listen to your body. Doctor is a fan. Yes, listen, Aaron, please. I realized that when you told me to turn the AC off, that I couldn't open the window because of, yay, my screen is fixed. No more mosquitoes. I think I was saying, oh, you just spit in my face. Oh, don't, ugh.
Where
What?
am I now?
Why would you do that? Are you trying to get likes on YouTube or something? You don't even know what I said. This is not your thing. Like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm like, oh, if I can make two more of you, and then other times I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I thinking? You're silly. Okay, calm down. I'm talking to the people. She's only acting like this because you guys are watching this. Ridiculous. See? Auntie Faith says, yeah, you're being silly. Mm-mm. What kind of food do you enjoy there, Henry Ross? Oh, you live in LA. Cool. I got family in LA. Oh, I think maybe I recognize your name. Anyway, the food that I enjoy. Hmm. I enjoyed the local cuisine more when I was coming to visit because I like different types of food. Now that I eat the local cuisine on a daily basis, if I don't eat it for a dish for a while, then I like it. Then I miss it again. But there's a dish called C'est Bon that's really good. I like chof fish, which is bomb. Um, Bullet was one of my favorite. It's like fish meatballs made out of fish meatballs. Um, yes, I just told them that. But yeah. So I eat usually for lunch we eat a rice dish. The Duchette is fixed. You can tell the people who was talking about all the home improvement stuff. Yeah, it was moving. Yeah. The button is fixed. I noticed that. The screen is fixed. And he did I didn't even get to look at my closet. He did the closet. I just have to organize my stuff. I'll do that tomorrow or tonight. Maybe I'll do it tonight. Have a little clean out my closet party. I had to add some shelves to my closet. I forget if I was saying that in this. Yeah, I have to organize my stuff, but it'll be easier with more shelves. Thank you, babe. Mosquitoes, yeah. Um, okay. All right. Sounds good. Cool. Step by step. So my closet is fixed. Actually, that'll be on my agenda for today. I didn't have a lot of energy this morning because I was just trying to rest. I was up late last night with the pain and stuff, so I didn't get good sleep. So today I just wanted to take it easy, but it's hard when you have stuff to do and you're the only one that could do it because he's busy and always all these moving pieces. But I definitely want to fix myself. I have to write it down, otherwise I'll forget and do something else. Let's see where else. What else was going on? Oh yeah, so the kind of food that I enjoy, it's hard to say, but I mean, I I enjoy different kinds of food. So there's Ethiopian food. I forgot. I need to go to that restaurant. There's Ethiopian food. There's Turkish food at this restaurant that's really good. They make the best wings in the area. There's Italian food. My friend at the beach in Simone has an Italian restaurant. I gotta go by there soon. Whenever somebody come visit me, I'll probably go back over there. So I like variety of food. If I eat the same kind of food every day, it gets boring. I think, yeah, I think because the flavor palette is like the same. Clean my shelves, and I need to do my rest of my video editing. But this is why we need to be in our right environment so people who are treating us know our bodies better, especially if they are well trained and have vested interest in health in U.S. and in in us as Africans. Yes, I agree with that. I like to have um well, even when I was in LA, all my doctors were black. And most of them were female. If I could find a black female or a female or a female, especially for certain things, because if you have the same stuff, you kind of understand a little more. But yeah, my dentist was is a black in the States was a black man. But it's hard to find. What I noticed in the States, it makes it difficult is because we have European names, like our last names, it's or English or British or whatever. It's hard to find. Like when you look in the I was gonna say yellow pages, but when you look online or wherever and you try to look for a doctor, you can't tell by the name like other cultures. Like if you're Armenian or Cambodian or what is that? What is that? There's a dragonfly inside. Is outside or inside? Okay, as long as it's outside. Why is it here? Hmm. Anyway, yeah, it's hard to find doctors in the States. Like you would have to call and ask, is this doctor of African descent? That's what I would do. But like my therapist, oh, I had a really good therapist when I left. I wish I could still talk to her. But but yeah, it does make a difference in how they people see you. I think here the bedside manner is different. So whereas as an American, I expect people to be gentle and like what's the word? Gentle and informative. I did notice, and I was telling my girlfriend that lives in Dakar, like doctors don't really tell. And I've had this experience in the States too, but sometimes there's doctors that they know what they're doing and they're kind of numb to what they do, and so they just like stick you with the needle or do the ultrasound. Like, some in the States, a lot of times they'll say, oh, for the ultrasound, oh, this is going to be cold. Like they tell you first. Here, I don't think, unless you go somewhere where a lot of foreign people go, like, maybe you won't have that experience where they explain to you what they're doing. They just stick the thing up your nose or, like they have ultrasounds where it's like they put the thing inside your uterus for those of you who have uteruses and things like that, and they don't like warn you or anything, they just do it and you're like, okay. But so those types of things, it's not like the customer service in general is different, and people don't I think people, when they do a job that's considered serious, they have a serious face. They're not like, how are you today? Okay, are you feeling okay? Are you, like, they don't do all that. They just are very straightforward and just like, okay, tell me what is going on, and they just start working. They're not like, I'm gonna stick with this. This is for this, and it's not, that step by step. So that was different, and I've experienced that a couple of times. But I want to know, like, they'll take my blood pressure, and I monitor my blood pressure myself. So I want to know, damn, all those bugs, they like the light. Close the curtain for me, babe. Yeah, yeah, close the curtain for me. All those bugs, I don't want them by the screen because they might inch their way in somehow. Ooh, lightning. Uh-oh. It's raining somewhere. Um, anyway, It's 7:30. Before I get tired, I wanna clean my room. I think I'm gonna turn on my music and organize my stuff. It's I still have stuff to unpack. We don't have storage for everything. There's a lot of stuff. We had to build a storage unit in my would have been part of my garden area, but it's okay. Let it go. But because we don't have like a garage and there's not built-in like linen closets and things like that. And so, everything that we store stuff in, we have to buy or build. And so it takes time because our carpenter works on stuff and he works I think he works by himself, but he does everything like one at a time, but it's the best price and quality. Otherwise you'll pay more money and get something fast that's already made or imported, but the quality is going to suck and it's going to so ooh, I meant to ask about the locks. I gotta write that down too. um Closet, organized closet. And I gotta ask him about the locks in my closet. I don't know if I told you guys, or it might have been on the show with Dayla, the Repat No Cap live show. But yeah, I had a housekeeper, a second. Well, I had two, and the second one was new, and some stuff started going missing, and it was stuff that you don't really think of, protecting or whatever or safekeeping because it's just like hair products and like little stuff, but it's like little stuff that I use, like my bonnet or some hair gel, like edge gel and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I can't find it. And so, yeah, we had to let the young lady go. She was a young kid, but yeah, so I want to lock more of my stuff, like like I have a safe and certain stuff is kept in certain places, like valuable stuff. But when it comes to like little like makeup and stuff, I never thought about locking that stuff down because it's in my room. But she was cleaning my room and I wasn't here at the time, so yeah. So now no more of that. Only one person cleans my room, so if anything happened, I know who did it, and then I have my stuff just not to tempt people. Abini says, "Did you have a scan?" I did. I had an ultrasound. Um, it was like in the it was a OBGYN who saw me, so I did a ultrasound. Um, good that you're okay now. Oh wait, this is why her Wolof is fine. Nearly every child I know that speaks Spanish, Wolof, or whatever started out answering in English or French, and they're all fluent. Yeah, by the time she's 10, yeah, she'll be a lot better with it. That I have no problem. I know for myself, it's not gonna be the same. Just looking at other people who have lived here longer than me and are married to people from here, that I don't foresee it really changing much. But I can do my little sayings, you know what I mean, like where you going or what's up or how you doing, are you hungry or I'm full. Like I can say three three word phrases, but I can't have a full conversation about the weather or the president or and I can do that in French or Spanish. I can do like more detail. I can say, my phone case broke, but I don't know how to say my phone case broke in Wolof. I just know the word broke. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So I sound like a 3-year-old, and that just discourages me from even doing it. And then like to ask people how to say stuff is sometimes gets tiresome. It's even for the people you asking because they're kind of like it's easy. Like you shouldn't even have to ask questions. Just you're gonna learn it just by hanging out with us, and then that's not how I learn. So yeah. Hello from Cleveland, Ohio. Blessings to you as well. I received those blessings. Xena Warrior Queen, I have a land question. Is land generally leased or sold outright? Land is sold outright. Hey, stop, man. For the most part. I don't want your feet. Okay. I think someone wants my attention. If there aren't any more, stop. I think, did I answer everybody's stuff? Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss any messages. Hmm. Um, okay, I think that's good. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. You know, I will try to continue to post videos as they come. It's just probably gonna fade out eventually. Well, maybe not soon, but it's not gonna be as often because I'm getting busier and busier and but I will keep posting at least once a week or something like that. Mm, but yeah, if you want more videos and more day to day, it's on Patreon because I don't edit those. I just whatever's going on, you just see it raw, uncut, and it's a lot easier for me to do that way. And then it keeps it where not all my business is out there in YouTube world. But yeah, I just wanted to say hi to you guys while I'm taking my little break. Sarah says you have to study it every day. It's not a language you will simply get by living there. It's too many nuances and words used among. Yeah. So yeah, that's a hard one. Because yeah, to study, I can study a language, but I need immersion. And if I don't have immersion, like I learn by listening to music, I learn by like living a language. But if nothing is happening in my life where I have to use that language, I don't. It won't. It doesn't come as easily for me. AD says, "How is Faha? First time ever watching you live." Oh, Badu, is this? No. Which Badu is this? Is this the Badu that I know? Cause hmm, I don't know if that's your uncle or not. She needs a baby brother. Arlene says she needs a baby brother. You can pray for one for her.
What?
Inglewood Badu. Yes, Inglewood Badu. Say hi.
Hi, Badu. I already said hi.
I know, but you didn't know who it was. It says,
Hi, Badu. Badu.
mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, I was just saying hello. He said hi. Yeah. I was gonna say he knows your full name. Zena says you're so cute. He says I see you. She thinks she's a star now with her snagger teeth. Show Badu your teeth. You see she's got all these teeth growing in, and she's still sucking her finger.
Wait. Here and here
Hmm.
and here and here. These two are growing a lot.
They're growing a lot. Yeah, they weren't even there before. All right. Let's
And
see.
that is
Oh,
just the
West Africa 1980. Hey, it's been a while. This must be your first live in a while. I think I did a live a month ago. A month ago. But then before that, yeah, it had been a while. It had been like 4 months or something. Lives are easy, but they're not. I mean, they're easy because I don't have to edit anything, and I can just sit here. But at the same time, the timing of it and stuff with the time out there. Yeah, I have to be in the mood though, or I have to have something to say. Beautiful Yaya and hi, hi Rain. We're just about to get off now, actually, because she's restless and I need to get some work done. I was just taking a break from editing videos. I feel like that's all I've been doing lately is filming when stuff is going on, and then people come visit, and then when they go, I'm just editing, catching up on editing. So, but we have some cool videos coming out from like all from July and August. I'm working on, so those should be entertaining. But in the meantime, I wanted to say hello and check in and let you guys know what's going on with us. There's always stuff to be worked on in the house, always work to be done, and so it's a working process. I'm so leery about learning to edit for my channel. Yeah, editing takes time, but it's fun. But it can be time consuming because you want, the right feeling and the right vibe and all that stuff. It's easier. I mean, everybody's channel is different. Some people don't edit at all. Like they're the lucky ones, in my opinion, because you could just post, boom. But sometimes you wanna, hey T. Also, everybody's coming in now. That I was about to get off. But yeah, sometimes you just want to post something, but then it's like, you might want to take some. Hey, please stop talking. You may want to take stuff out just for like, uh, somebody said something that could not sound right, or something. Somebody said somebody's name, or something's private, and somebody doesn't want to be on film. Different stuff like that. So you like edit it, and then some stuff you feel like, oh, it's like boring, so I just take it out, or I put some music, make it a little more, So you can get carried away with the editing. Like sometimes I just want to leave it raw and not do anything. That's why I post on Patreon a lot more, because then I don't have to worry about impressing anybody really, because it's just the real. But I am saying bye, but some people came in. I don't even know why you're in my room. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get back to it and clean my closet now, and I need to spray this room so that all the mosquitoes will die, and find something to eat for dinner. I didn't even eat lunch today. I was yesterday when I wasn't feeling well. I was vomiting, and so I didn't feel like eating today. But I need to eat something, so maybe some vegetables or something I can make myself eat. Appreciate you doing the live today. Thank you. I'm glad to have caught you again, and it's nice to interact with you. Likewise, thank you for tuning in and talking to me. It's nice to have people out there to talk to and you know interact with as well. Normally mine are raw and uncut, but yes, I want to do something a little cleaner. Hey, 22able. Catch you next live. Hope you feel better soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Rain the Truth. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Pour toi mieux. Merci beaucoup. I will. Thank you, Badu. See you guys later. Say bye, yeah. Out the way.